So I'm thinking just as I go about the development, human development over time, and I'm trying to go back to some time when we didn't have stuff, when we didn't have cars on the roads and whatever. We would have just been using horse and cart, and then before that, we wouldn't have even had horses and carts. We would have just been doing everything by hand. And then some guy realized that we could use the animals around us to do work for us. I'm trying to imagine the first guy to have created a horse and cart situation who conceived of the idea of manufacturing a cart that a horse could then pull, and then you could put all kinds of goods on that cart as you go. And who conceived of a saddle for a horse to make it much easier to ride? In fact, who thought about riding a horse in the first place at all? Where did that idea come from? Why did we think that the animal would accept it? And I'm thinking that animals wouldn't have accepted it at first. So how comes humans could persevere doing something which, on the face of it, doesn't make sense anyway? I mean, the first guy would try to ride a horse, and the horse wouldn't want to would shake him off. Why did the guy keep persisting on trying to ride a horse? Why didn't the guy think, well, the horse is not going to stand for it and let it go? How is it the man could have persistence to keep trying? Because when you think about it, why should a horse accept someone riding on its back? So it's weird that some guy realized that a horse could be forced to accept carrying a man on its back. I find that strange to understand that. I don't understand why we persevered getting a horse to carry us. And then they had to manufacture a saddle, and that's amazing as well. To do something that wouldn't upset the horse or annoy the horse. It's really impressive how humanity progressed and how we used the things around us, the assets. So I'm thinking about how we even left the cave. I mean, it's great that we found a cave in the first place. And then what surprises me is how we imagined we could construct a dwelling somehow out of rock and wood and whatever they did at first. How could you get the idea, if you're living in a cave, how could you get the idea that you could actually create a house if you got some wood together and found out how to make it and whatever? And now we have houses today and all the brickwork and the doors and the windows and the ceilings and the glass and the central heating and the carpeting and the paint and everything. Everything is just so organized. And I find it hard to understand how we got to this stage. And the main thing on my mind is how we imagined a house from the beginning. Where did we get the idea to make a house? Why wouldn't we just stay with making caves into a dwelling? Why wouldn't we just use the environment? I'm finding it hard to understand how we could conceive of the idea of a house. Because it's not as if other animals are doing this. Other animals just use the environment themselves. So we're nothing to copy. So somehow we realized we could create a dwelling from nothing. From empty ground, we could construct a house to suit our needs. And then I'm thinking, how did we learn about central heating and electricity supply? It's just all amazing how we developed and got so organized in life. It's just incredible how we live and how we've fixed our environment to suit us. And it's very impressive.